Oh, you're so cute. So cute indeed. Cool, so we will run through the lineups here officially once we get in game, but again, it is the Team 1 versus Team 4, the first match of the night. Game is Blacklight Retribution, and this PUG draft night has been brought to you by Unified Competitive Gaming. Make sure you guys go out, visit the website, register for the site, get on the forums, let them know what you think, and let's just jump right in off the bat, as my game kind of flipped out for a second. And so, what's your big thing about this map overall as I zoom out and try to get a full look of it? Like, what do you think is one of the more crucial parts of, you know, kind of controlling this map on domination, Mr. Benjamin?
Definitely Site A right off the bat. I was watching, we did a PUG earlier, and we had some casting. I had a chance to watch it, and if you take a look at Site A, it just seemed to be a very crucial point. I mean, it seemed like everyone fought for that point. This is a bigger map. I will say it'd probably be a little bit better on 6v6, but nonetheless, though, I definitely think we're going to see a huge battle at Site A.
Yeah, we're actually seeing that right now as there is some trading going on, and we will jump into it because this is a hack map right now too. It's not just sit and control, is it? You just sit and you have to actually hack through, as we see Kuryoku on the orange side here trying to hold point A for him. He is going to meet a lot of different gunmen. Techie coming to help him out here, as Webb will be the last person left trying to hack this through. Techie will hold this Site A, so that's a good hold right there, as actually Itchy's going to try to get his way around as well. So yeah, a lot of action over at Site A off the bat, and as we see, a lot of the blue side here is coming through this little garage area, which is actually a direct path over towards where Site C is, which we'll take a look at here next as we wander our way through. And Site C, definitely one of the more closed off sections, but you know, a thing about it is there's this giant little ramp, or not giant little ramp, this giant bridgeway where nades can just easily fall right on top, and if you take a look at that site, anywhere in the vicinity of the nade is probably going to just dominate you through, as they were unable, Novus was not unable to hold that site personally. As let's take a look at here. Now talk us through real quick what the hacking is supposed to look like as we're locking onto Dick Smith right now. So what's the whole point behind hacking, and what is it exactly?
Well, it kind of adds a different aspect to the game. You can't just like sit there and hold the point, if you will, and capture it. You have to actually, you press E, your use button, and then there's two numbers that pop up, and there's one in the center. You have to match it with the number that you're supposed to match it with, and it's kind of a very tedious thing. I guess it depends on how well you can handle stress, but if you realize there's people shooting on you and there's a lot of distractions. I mean, I've messed up before, and it's really annoying. You got to start over. I think you have to do it like 4 times consecutively.
Yeah.
So it adds a little bit of a unique twist to the game. And if you look at Techie at the A site, you see he's got the barricade set up with the HRV blackout, where basically, for those of you who are new to the game, there's basically you have built-in wall hacks, if you will, in the game, where you can cut them on and off. It's a timer based, so it's not like you can always have them on. And anyways, he's got a really nice setup with the barricade where he's got a nice defensive position, and no one can really see him there either with the in-game wall hack. Or HRV, I should say.
Yeah, the HRV. So yeah, we can see Manny here. He's gonna hack through, and it is kind of like a little bit of a stressful thing to try to hack through a point instead of just sitting there, because like you can be under pressure with gunfire, and you have to get the numbers right. And if you do disconnect yourself from it, you have to start all over again. And it's the cool thing about it is, and I hope we can see it here soon, as a different team is taking the point. You can see how many times they've done it, because the circle around the actual point will start to fade away until they've done it completely. So it's an interesting way to see what points are being taken. It's not quite like Call of Duty where like, we're losing point B. Like you have to kind of see it happening. So that's kind of cool. And then again, kind of run us through. We'll try to find Tech again. I think he's probably sitting behind some more awesomeness. Yeah, he's got the barricade out right now. So what's the whole point with the barricade? We were talking about how you can't be seen through the HRV, the wall hack thing, but what are the other items that people are going to expect to be seeing here when people buy out?
Yeah, you have different tactical gear, if you will. It's like what would be on your back. There's camouflage. I don't think I've seen anyone using that yet. where your character's basically invisible. You can still be seen on the HRV screen, but there's a barricade. There's a health revival where you can, throw like a revival injector to your teammate who's died. There's a couple of other things. There's perks for like the hard suit, basically the huge mechs you can buy in a depot, which I haven't seen anyone buy yet. I'm a little surprised. I thought for sure people would be buying that, but I guess people are just really, this map's pretty big and they just don't have time to run around and get to the certain points. But so there's different aspects of the game that'll give players certain advantage for certain builds that they want to create their class. Because you're not restricted to a certain class in some games. You can build, if you want to build a very light class with, some crazy armors or, some crazy SMG with a heavy armor. You have a lot of flexibility in what you want to create your character to be.
Yeah, and that's really one of the cool things. And I know we're kind of talking about the outlooks and what you can get from the outposts. But if anyone who's noticing and you're watching on the left, you're not seeing specific guns. There's no M4, there's no AK. You see people getting killed by assault rifle, or they're getting killed by submachine gun. And the thing about this game, which I really like, is how customizable it is. And you can really make a gun what you want to make it. And it's really cool because everyone starts with the same gun at the beginning of the game. And you might need to help me out if I mess up saying something here because it's still kind of fresh to me. But you can change out the type of, the actual type of feeling the gun has. You can change the magazine, you can change the receiver, you can change the barrel, you can change all these different things to affect your spray pattern, how fast your gun shoots, how fast you move with it, what your scope looks like. So it really takes customizing guns, which you get a little bit of, from Call of Duty when you can like go ahead, make perks on your guns and you can outfit it the way you want. But it takes it to a totally different level, and it makes the game so much more customizable for how you like to play. So you can change it and make every gun fit your own playstyle. If you don't like the spray pattern of a certain gun, well, you can change out the barrel and it'll have a different spray pattern, and one you can feel more comfortable with. As we see, the A site here is still being the one main focus here, as Kyoki is doing some work over here by this forklift, trying to help out with Novus there. And you can see that Domination Point B is being taken over there by the blue team. And if we look at the score now, Alpha, which is the blue team, is slightly winning, just barely, as a pretty close game so far. And how about, for real quick, since it is domination, a lot of people who play FPSs are going to look at the game based on, their KDs. What is the main factor here? How is score calculated in Blacklight Retribution?
As far as like frags go?
Oh, frags or capture points, and just kind of how the score gets inflated.
You're talking for each individual player?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's just going to be kills and death. I mean, the score, that's your CP or the actual literal in-game currency. Like literally when you're playing a map, you can use that currency to buy health, hard suits, rocket launcher, different things of that nature. Which I'm surprised I haven't seen a hard suit yet. Again, I was really hoping to see that. I like them. I think they add a unique twist to the game. But yeah.
Yeah, another thing that I really like is we saw a good retake here by the Bravo squad, trying to get back over to the A site as it was almost about to be taken over by Alpha. Flash nade went off, and I experienced my first flash nade not too long ago. And it's just interesting because this is a futuristic kind of sci-fi type shooter, but when the flash nade goes off, it doesn't do just a straight white screen. It actually makes it look like your computer just hit a blue screen to death. Like I thought my computer froze when I got it with a flash nade for the first time. So it's little things like that that really make this game totally different. And interestingly enough, we haven't seen Site B be contested at all. Bravo's actually held Site B the entire game so far. As I am taking a look, Techie's hanging out by himself right now, playing defense over there. And I'm really liking these little viewpoint action right here, just kind of bouncing around the map, watching the different views. It's still Site A it's being contested over. We'll take a look over here as Zero Mata is trying to run up this fight here. He will get taken out pretty quickly, actually. Definitely this Alpha team's doing really well here, as we can see their scores all the way across. I mean, obviously the KDs are saying something. Manny is leading his team right now at 14-9, but his score is also leading at 44-65, as that score does go up based on if you're holding sites. And it's interesting to see how you get points for certain things. It's Novus and Dicksmith are trying to have like a little bit of a knife war here. Dicksmith will win that one over and continue to hold site A. And Zero Mod on the other team, 19-8 with a 4,800 score, evened up now score-wise with Manny. Is this still a close game? It is about to be over. As yep, there it is. The match round is finally taken. 750 is the score point there, and that will go over to the boys at Alpha side. And just what overall do you see being key? I mean, we saw site A be taken across. Strategy-wise, though, Ben, how do you think that people are going to be able to play this just more generally? Like, how do you think a domination strategy should go for this game in particular?
Well, the maps definitely are bigger than like your Call of Duty style, where it's very enclosed maps. That map we saw, I think, was one of the bigger maps. So it was kind of the spawn system. I'm not too familiar with, but I think the way it works is it's dynamic. It's not static. So let's say we had all 3 points captured, then you would just basically flip-flop spawn points. So then it really wouldn't matter. You couldn't technically lock down a 3-point. I mean, you have to be a really coordinated team to go do that, I would think. So yeah, I definitely think the key to domination is going to be just holding that one central point in the map where it kind of connects the map together. I think we're playing Seaport, which is another huge map. So this should be interesting as well. It's more of a long-range map. There's, like you were saying, there's different receivers. I noticed a lot of people were using the assault rifle. I saw a couple of burst fire rifles. So that should be interesting for long range. I think burst fire, assault rifle are pretty balanced as far as I go. There's like a combat rifle where it's a semi-auto rifle. You can build it different ways. And actually, this is not Seaport. I guess the private server lied to us. I'm not sure. I forget the name of this map. This should be a good map as well.
Yeah,
it's
not too big. But the thing about it, and I'm kind of sitting on the outside here, there are these outside railings that look in, and we can see the Alpha team right now of Zero Mata is really holding their spot around there as they captured C, which they spawned close to. And it kind of like the way Brink was going for a while, and if any of you out there watched Brink being played, there are certain strategies that you need to take in consideration. One of them is a strategic retreat, and you need to know when you need to play off your respawn timers, and especially with the respawns being dynamic and not static, like you said, it does take a little bit of communication, or not even a little bit, a lot of it of communication, in order of who's defending, who's pushing, when are we pushing where, and it's one thing that'll keep this game, on a learning curve for a while, as we follow Bravo trying to take over C here, as Dicksmith and Weber trying to get past this barricade and into Novus's face here, as Novus will take out both, actually, so it's a good hold there by him.
I gotta say, whoever put that barricade up used it very wisely.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't hold the push, but yeah.
Even still, you create more choke points, and yeah, I think that was Novus who did that, because I mean, he's even got a shield generator up right by the actual capture point as well, so he can chill up there. As actually Kyryuki's there now. But it's going to be interesting to see, because each map is, like we said, super diverse and super interesting on every single level. Obviously, just the makeup of the map and how they're structured. But how teams decide to play is going to be super interesting. So far, we've seen Techie take more of that defensive role for his team, as he was taken out by a long-range burst rifle, and we see Novus actually doing a good job of defending over here by, again, sitting around the C site. So that barricade is doing some work, so we'll see a little bit of a push in here, and do our best to try to follow this around, as this is a submachine gun that Itchy was using right there, as you hear it just rapidly firing off. As it still good holds all the way across, and we can see that being the case. There's a turret up now actually hanging over by site C, which is going to be pretty crucial, as we see this is one of those outpost points right here that Techie just picked up some items for himself, as he will be defending that area now, which it does have that turret, as we hear it actually going off right now against Manny. Didn't quite get over to see that action happening, but again, how you use your nades and how you take points, and I'm looking at the spot right now right by the helipad where there is that extra long staircase cat rail type action area, and how it gets you into sights and how you have to defend as an individual holding the sight is going to be completely different for depending on how you play with your team.